Textbooks are very expensive for students.
There's no reason to spend over $100 on a textbook.
It's great that we're finding ways to lower costs for students.
I've always been really frustrated at how expensive textbooks are and how sometimes you have to buy a textbook and you only use part of it, and it's like, why did I spend all this money when I'm not even using the whole book?
My name is Toby Wagner, and I'm a math instructor at Chemeketa Community College. The math department had been in discussions with the textbook companies about trying to come up with an arrangement that would substantially lower textbook costs for our students. At our first math program meeting in fall 2014, the textbook rep came and presented to our program their proposal, which included a trivial price cut to our students. That really got me motivated to start considering and looking at other options for lowering textbook costs, because it was apparent at that point that the textbook companies were not really interested in offering substantial savings for our students. Steve Richardson, who was involved in actually leading out and exploring a Chemeketa Press concept, approached me and asked if I would be interested in working on putting together a low-cost math textbook. And I said, absolutely, I would love to do that.
Well, I'm Steve Richardson, and my role is with Chemeketa Press is as managing editor, which means I kind of run the operation. This is an idea that I have had for a number of years by publishing my own textbook. I thought it's manageable now in the age of print-on-demand technology for a person to publish a book, and so a college could do the same thing.
My name is Tim Rogers, and I'm the Associate Vice President for College Support Services Division and Operations. Chemeketa started looking at the issue of affordability generally for our students, and textbooks were something that we identified immediately as kind of a pretty big issue. We started out at one of our college in-service days, setting up some sessions and inviting faculty to think and share ideas about what we could do. And there was ideas about using open educational resources, about, in some cases, eliminating textbooks from classes altogether, and then also about creating some of our own books.
In spring of 2015, we sat down and started making preliminary plans for what a low-cost elementary algebra textbook might look like.
I think at the same time that I realized our textbook cost $200 for the Art 101 class, I was trying to get all the Art 101 instructors together, and I had this idea that we could just pool all our resources and then use that instead of the book. So that's when I said, well, let's just ask artists, see if they'll participate in this.
You know, the idea behind the show is really to sort of celebrate and say thank you to all the people that helped contribute to create this textbook.
I wrote a letter and I sent it out to artists. It was a call. I remember sitting there and just writing lists and lists and lists of names of all these people that I could ask. And when I realized what we were doing, it wasn't just, let's save some money so we don't have to pay for image rights. It was, no, this is a good thing. We're going to be able to show students in their textbook that art is not this dead thing. It's alive and it's living, and these are artists in your community that are making art all the time.
Hi, my name is Meredith Schreiber. I'm the Director of Auxiliary Services, which pretty much means I run the bookstore. Chemeketa Press has actually been a real eye-opener for a lot of the students. I had a mother and daughter, I caught them in the aisle. They were looking at the beautiful Art 101 book, and the daughter was saying, "Mom, touch it, it feels so nice." And I walked over and I said, "Okay, I've caught you petting the books." And then the mother was so sweet, she looks and she goes, "What? This is only $28? And it was just a really nice feeling that they were getting a quality product for such a really amazing price.
My name is Paul Coleman, and I've been working in the publishing industry since July of 2001. We're reducing the cost of textbooks. All publishers are trying to do that. There's software support, there's servers, there's 24/7 tech support, there's all of the code distribution, there's the carrying the cost of the warehouse inventory, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. On top of the investments in just the original author's vision, all of that leads into the final cost.
Basically what it does though, it changes the conversations to help negotiate lower prices where we're going to be using a standard publisher textbook. So we are actually seeing an overall lowering of the average price of a textbook in the last couple of years.
We're able to produce books that are significantly less expensive than commercial textbooks and equally effective. But we've also found that it's important because it provides wonderful professional development opportunities for faculty, and it gets students involved in the project and kind of expands their educational opportunities.
There was a whole lot of behind-the-scenes stuff happening, but most of what happened behind the scenes was done by visual communications students from Chemeketa Community College.
It started off as something that we didn't really necessarily know how big it was going to be, or at least I didn't.
So it's awesome that we are able to be part of this. Anything that we can do, to help students save money.
I have shared what I've done with some colleagues of mine from other colleges. The more students we can save money, the better, and that's not something that is limited to Chemeketa.